Alright guys, matchup number 2. It's Mr. Teddy Ballgame. 2 and 6 against Fraggle Wembley. 6 and 2. ESPN slating it at 134 for Wembley to 95 for Teddy Ballgame. 38 9-point swing with Wembley being at home getting that extra point. Do I think it's going to be that close? No. No, I don't even think it's going to be that close. I would love to see me get the 134 points, though. That would be really great. I really need one of those games where people are putting up 30 and 20 and everything like that. Every single week, my guys are all consistent. You know, they're all putting up that 15 to 20 range, usually all in double digits, which I love. But I would love to have that 40-point freaking game or that 45-point game that skies you way up. I just want it one time. One time. If you look throughout the year, Wembley, if Wembley win against Teddy Ballgame every single week, he would be 7-1. The 1 week being Wembley's really down week that he pretty much would have lost to anybody except sucks, and but unfortunately he didn't go against sucks that week, and blah 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 blah. Anyhow, actually the funny thing is, myself and Teddy Ballgame are going against each other in both leagues. I'm not quarterbacks. Phillip Rivers, the #1 fantasy quarterback, going against Houston, who gives up the most points to quarterbacks. You gotta love it. 28 points for Phillip Rivers this week. Tom Brady against the Cleveland defense. Good news for Teddy Ballgame. Tom Brady's going to put up points against the Cleveland Browns defense. Give me 22 points for Tom Brady this week. Running backs. Wembley is sitting out Frank Gore this week. His most unbelievably consistent running back. So instead he's got AP, of course, going against an Arizona defense. Yeah, give me 23 points for Adrian Peterson against a really weak Arizona defense. And we saw that he can definitely carry the team like he did last week. AP obviously is a beast. Against Arizona, you got to love that matchup. A lot of points for AP this week. Ray Rice against Miami. Miami has a good defense. Ray Rice has been a little bit off. I don't think he's going to have a blowout game this week. Give me 12 points for Ray Rice. Brandon Jackson's going to be filling in for Frank Gore this week. It's going to be the last week that Wembley has a bye in his running backs and receivers. He's only got Phillip Rivers left. But Brandon Jackson going against the Dallas defense. Gotta kind of like that. I know Brandon Jackson isn't the main guy there. He's not going to get all the points. He's not going to get all the yards. He's not going to get all the TDs. But against the Dallas defense, it's been rather well. Thomas Jones and Steve Smith, the giant Steve Smith, the one who's still producing in this league. Beanie Wells going against the Minnesota defense. Unfortunately, I think Arizona is going to be down for most of the game. It's going to eliminate a lot of their running. And we never know, because Whitnett Wisenhunt sometimes runs Hightower more, sometimes runs Beanie Wells more. We know Beanie Wells is questionable for the week. So, you know, obviously he's a little banged up. We'll see how that works out there. Give me actually only about 7 points for Beanie Wells. And you guys know I love Beanie Wells. Thomas Jones from KC. I know Hugo said that Thomas Jones was done, but that Thomas Jones was the lead back. He's not. He's getting points. Don't get me wrong. He's getting points, but he's not the lead back on that team. And against an Oakland team that actually is pretty darn good against the run, Thomas Jones, give me about 8 to 10 points for Thomas Jones. Not a horrible week, but not a great week either. And then Steve Smith, Giants, going against the Seattle defense. Gotta love him. The only problem is, unlike last year, he's not really getting the end zone looks. It's all going to Hakeem Nicks, which really hurts Steve Smith's points. Give me actually only about 7 points for Steve Smith. He's still going to get his yards. if he sees the end zone, I could see him getting double digits. I just don't see it happening just with the focus on Knicks in the end zone. If not, they usually go for the run. So I have a problem with going too many points for Steve Smith so far this year. If you go receivers, Dwayne Bowe, Mike Williams from Tampa. Loving Mike Williams this year. Great pickup for Teddy Ballgames. I know he went for Legarius Blunt, and I know he has no tight end right now because tight end's on the bye. And I know for a fact he went for Tammy from Indianapolis, but he didn't get him because I did. But so that's going to really hurt him. I know he's got to pick up a tight end here, but there's not many tight ends left, so we're not going to really talk about that anymore. But Mike Williams, great pickup, going against an Atlanta defense who's hot and cold. But Mike Williams is definitely Josh Freeman's point of interest. He looks for him more than anybody else. I think he had 13 targets last week. A lot of targets to have. I think he's going to have a good week again. Give me 12 or 13 points for Mike Williams. Dwayne Bowe going against Oakland. Oakland definitely can be beat up by the pass. Dwayne Bowe is the epitome of hot and cold. He could have a 18-point game. He can have a 4-point game. I'm going to go straight in the middle. I'm going to say 10 points a game for Dwayne Bowe. Flip on over to Wembley. He has Anquan Boldin and newly acquired Reggie Wayne. It's actually kind of cruel for me to get Reggie Wayne going against Mr. I Love the Colts himself. But against the Philadelphia defense that has been giving up fantasy points like crazy. And it doesn't even matter because we all know that Peyton is the greatest of this generation and he's rivaling the greatest of all time. I mean, he's truly someone I can just sit there and watch play the game just for his talent and his knowledge is just unparalleled right now. And Anquan Boldin going against Miami's defense. He should get some good points there. I'm saying 10 for Anquan Boldin. I'm going to say 14 for Reggie Wayne. And then I'll talk about my tight end in Jacob Tamme, who's going to be filling in for Vernon Davis this week, who is on bye week. And what a time to have a tight end come out of the woodwork. The time that my number 3 tight end in the league is going on bye week. Tamme is going to be in double digits this week. I'm going to say 12 points. He had 10 targets, 6 points receiving, and then another 6 getting a touchdown, so 12 points last week. Say he comes around that this week. I don't think it's going to be a close matchup. Not that ball game's going to do horrible. I think actually ball game's going to be around that 85 to 90 range, which would win in a lot of matchups. But just if you look at the matchup that Wembley has, I think he's going to have a lot of